Hello, it's Hatsushio here with a review on the match between Lord Thy God and Gaall. So first we begin with some Landius tank bans and both players picking up Jugler here. So here we have a Yulia and Listel ban. Not actually banning the Zerida from Gaall. So that's a questionable decision because if we look over here, what kind of units can probably survive Zerida? Listel can maybe survive. Yulia can definitely survive. Everyone else is just kind of dead. So we see the same bans here, and over here, Lord picks up the Zerida. And then we have two bans here. This would be the faction buff for Zerida. Claret is part of the Meteor faction. And here we have a Yusuke pick here. So Yusuke right now does not have hard bonds. So even if it's really well built, it should still lack the necessary health required to survive the Zerida. Instead, you could have picked up a Zerida of your own, since you can faction buff your own juggler here as well. Here we see two standard healer bans on the third ban. And over here we have an Elwyn. Elwyn can threaten the juggler here. So if you picked up your own Zerida on second pick, your juggler does not need to bring his own faction buff. But now he probably needs his own faction buff just to have as much buffs as possible to try and survive the Elwyn. Here we have the Leonhardt. Goes well with Juggler, but now you definitely need to pick up your own faction buff for Leonhardt. And now, finally, we have the two Assassins band. I think you should have picked up Zerida earlier, but you seem to know what you want to do with this Leonhardt. Here we have a early healer pick. He does not need this Gizzer. It can faction buff for the mythic units, but he doesn't really need to. Two more healer bands. A Weiler pick here. The Weiler pick is because of the healer bands? No. So last turn, you could have also just banned the other two healers right here instead of these two assassins. But he's more afraid of these assassins, it seems. And then here you have the healer pick. And another healer pick with Iris. So here with Iris instead of Rachel, you're looking to do some sort of teleport play that can potentially get a kill somewhere here, like a Dispel the Juggler, guard, and then snipe one of these two with his Leonhardt. So that's what I'm putting Gaall's plan on if he's not going to pick up the Rachel. The Rachel against this team is only weak against Zerida, but it would be really good against the others, since you can bring up the Gospel for yourself. So Lord Thy God here moves up the Elwyn. He doesn't go all the way like forward, he moves up tier 3. Does not have Apex boots. So I'm imagining this to be a winged Shinguard Elwyn. So Gaall here can look to use teleport on turn 1. You can teleport the Leonhardt 5 forward, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Leonhardt has move of 4. You can look to use either the two AoEs to act again and then snipe somebody. So he's moving here just moving very far away from the range of Leonhard, it seems. Opening up here with Triton. He probably anticipates Leonhard might teleport in and do some first turn teleport, AoE stuff. And here we have an attack blessing. So this Zerida does need to use Alhazar to ignore guard with Killing Blow. So here, Gaall doesn't move the Leonhard forward at all. And doesn't move this forward at all either. The Zerida did proc breed, so she has very long range. At least for now. She cannot ignore guards, so you could have maybe moved forward here with Leonhard. Or Yusuke if you like. One other thing we should check is their health and defense. This Leonhard has less than 9,000 health. And only, well, this defense will go up higher once he's alone. But this is really low health. My Leonhard have 12,000 health. So this Leonhard is not gonna survive this. It's also not using the Highlander infantry troops. So his potential to kill anything is pretty low here. Look at this attack, is just very low. And in comparison, we have Zealots here, very high attack. So Leonhard's single target damage is going to be pretty bad. So I'm not sure what he's trying to do with this. Maybe snipe somebody outside Jugler's range with all these AoEs. Here's the Alhazard. So with Attack Blessing, it's definitely killing really anything that she's going to attack into, other than the tank. Yeah, I probably can just kill this tank even if it's not in water. But everyone else here is just dead. This is less than 8,000 health. They're all dead, which is really bad. Your box doesn't have a lot of units that can survive against this Zerida. So here you go up and use the AoE beside the Juggler, so your attack is a lot lower. Instead, you brought the Iris, you can probably move to do some AoE effects. So, from what I can see here, Gaall could have used Teleport last turn. Like, teleport yourself, maybe here. Put Yusuke up here, if you like. Or still have him back here. Yusuke is going to need to use his Psychic Corruption anyways before he can start doing any damage. But if your Leonhard last turn used the Teleport, you can use Iris to teleport Leonhard forward. Doesn't matter anywhere, like moving, teleporting Leonhard here, or like any of these spaces, it's all fine. There's going to be no follow-up from this side, they're all very far away. And then you can just look to snipe this Zerida. She's missing all her soldiers, so even if she has the last rights, it's not going to be active. So that's what I'm assuming Gaall's Leonhard is aiming to do, since you have just really low health right here. So I'm assuming it's all just a glass cannon stacking attack. Instead, this is quite ineffective, because your opponent gets first move. Zerida doesn't care about her soldiers, or her own health for that matter. She can just heal that all back up. And instead you spend the teleport here. It doesn't do a whole lot because this Leonhard is still not going to survive the Zerida. You could have instead looked to teleport Leonhard earlier, as I said. If Leonhard already used TP the turn before, you can teleport him forward. He would be alone with 20% increased damage from the Iris teleport. And then in this position, I will do something like use the fusion AoE right here. So that way you can attempt to dispel Jugler, but what you really want is to act again and then trigger the teleport Sword Breath only on the Zerida. And then you're going to do some damage to the Zerida with that, and you can move here and then use your line AoE on only Zerida alone, or you can use it up there from this position and just really aim to snipe the Zerida right here. If you fail to kill the Zerida with this Leonhard kind of attack, game's probably over, but right now the game is looking over already anyways, because this can just kill the Zerida. I mean, Zerida can just kill Leonhard and move back. Now the Yusuke is in position to do some damage, but he's going to need an ally to die first. So here it doesn't matter what you do, it's just dead. 16,000 damage. Even going past the wind wall, you can't survive the attack blessing of Hazard. So here, this Iris attack didn't accomplish really anything. You're attacking the Juggler that has healing plate. It didn't even apply any sort of debuffs there, so this is just a wasted move. You could have just ended turn right here. And since this Yusuke did have an ally die last turn, he can now attack at a range of 2. So this is a really good spot for Yusuke to attack right here, and just attack the Juggler from this spot. Because here you're still guarded, this Juggler is half Beast Rock ready, so you can't really move outside your guard range, otherwise this Juggler moves in Beast Rock and one-shots anyone. So if this Iris wasn't here right now, this Yusuke can move over here, attack this Elwyn, and just be safe. But now, this just ends turn. This Yusuke ends turn, wasting the Mimir's Hammer buff. This Mimir Hammer gives the Yusuke 20% more hero damage, so that's completely wasted. You can't really aim to one-shot a Juggler, that's probably on last rights either. So at the start of turn, this Yusuke goes in, tries to kill the Juggler, but the Juggler lifts even though it's not on water, thanks to really just last rights. And this Yusuke, when attacking, didn't really have any other buffs other than his own buffs. So this Yusuke have 15% increased single target damage from when using skills. This transformation gives them 30% increased damage. And you have +1 range for 3 turns when an ally dies, or when you kill a unit. So Yusuke is actually capable of dealing a lot of damage with this much attack, and this Stella actually having more attack than Yusuke himself. But you really want to have even more damage, like Attack Blessing, or this Iris Teleport. Maybe you could have one-shot the Juggler with 20% damage, but it's just lacking just that much damage required to kill this Juggler. And at this point, Gaall doesn't really have any way of winning here. This Juggler is full health, you just used up your skill, didn't really accomplish anything. This Zerida is ready to attack again next turn. Even this Elwyn can look to just cast Sword Soul. Yep, Broadsword Soul. And look to one-shot this juggler that is not in water. Nope. Let's see the damage here. Not quite. I'm assuming this juggler is also using Last Rites, otherwise it would most certainly be dead. So Gaall really shouldn't have let the Lord pick up the Zerida here. Most of these units cannot survive the Zerida. Instead, you can maybe look to let them have Listel or Yulia. There are actually a lot of ways to deal with an early Yulia pick. You can pick up something like Bozo that applies a lot of debuffs. Rachel with Arcane Blast can usually one-shot the Yulia. So here, both players bans Landius, picks up Jugler. This time he finally banned the Zerida. But yeah, you can let your opponent have Yulia. Let's see what we can deal with Yulia here. Listel is really good, but it's banned. You can apply debuffs with Bozo. Rachel can one-shot with Arcane Blast. Zerida's really weak. Joshua is also pretty weak, because the Yulia is immune to fixed damage, you have to two-shot it somehow. Leonhard is really good. You can use 2 AoEs and hope to kill the Yulia that way. It really depends on how well built the Yulia is. But from last fight, Gaall's Leonhard looked really strong. It's like full glass cannon, really high attack. So you should be looking to do something like that when you can't survive the Zerida here. So this time, Gaall picks up Zerida. And Lord here goes with a really good pick, Yulia. Yulia is unable to be killed by Zerida. And I'm assuming Lord's other units are also pretty good at surviving Zerida. This Gizerov can faction buff for Yulia. When he dies, he spawns constructs. He can also summon constructs. That way he can block off that Zerida's move after kills, so she doesn't go into hide and seek after combat. And here at the very end we see another Yusuke pick. So first, I want to mention that the Lord here picked up Zealots. I think Zealots are a pretty good option against the Luna here, because Luna has really high magic defense. If you bring Unicorns, Unicorns does have a lot of spots here, grasslands, that they can comfortably attack on, but it's gonna do little to no damage to the Luna. And I don't see any other physical damage dealers here other than the Beast Rock. So killing the Luna is going to be really difficult if this Yulia brought Unicorns. Gizerov does almost all magic damage, or just all magic damage. And we have 2 healers here, so Lord can look to just stall out with the Juggler surviving. Then you have to deal with the Zerida eventually somehow, which Yulia is really good against. This Yusuke again. Yusuke is good after your opponent's tank is dead, but right now it's going to be quite difficult to kill this Juggler. And this Luna actually brought faction buff. This juggler did not bring Beast Rock, that means it's going to lack the damage to kill this juggler. This juggler have two healers backing him up, and the Yulia that can also heal in combat. So player 1 is going to have a really difficult time trying to kill this juggler. If he uses Yusuke effectively last game, like last game, use the Mimir's Hammer, it might be able to one-shot. I hope this Luna has King's Crown to give 20% increased damage dealt. So Gaall actually doesn't do anything with this Yusuke, not even faction buff. He's playing really scared and slow here for player 1. That's surprising. So we can't tell if this Luna have King's Crown or not, since she didn't end the turn beside an adjacent unit. So now he's probably going in here, stacking all the buffs here. He's looking to use the Psychic Eruption this turn. Ah, I see now. So this Luna does have Raging Thunder. So this is a 6-costed Luna. That's why we don't have the Juggler faction buff. But this Luna cannot move again after combat, so when she goes in, she is just gone. You really want to be attacking beside the Juggler here, so beginning of next turn, Gaall is probably looking to moving here with Master Vice and then moving in with the rest of the team. Since you really only need the Magic Guard here, but beginning of next turn, when this Juggler does move, it's going to lose the water buff. We have a teleport here on the Juggler in place, anticipating some sort of move next turn. Yusuke did use the transformation skill, and this Zerida is probably looking to move somewhere here and then snipe the unit beginning of next turn. So not a whole lot happening here. All of these units just end a turn. I'm actually surprised Zerida ended her turn last turn right here. She could have moved like anywhere here. But this construct is covering a lot of the map, surprisingly. Zerida still haven't done anything. With Backstab, she can probably try to attack once this fixed damage immunity guard is down. Before that, I guess this is an okay move. Just playing it slow. But as you wait here, all your faction buffs are doing nothing here. Yusuke already used transformation. Ooh. This is pretty bad for Gaall. He moved the healer early, while also giving Lord Liana. That means she can use again to attack again. This kills the juggler. Right now, nothing can still one-shot the Yulia, and with all these healers, it's going to be really difficult to do so. Not doing anything to this Yulia means this Yulia can just pick up any target and just kill them. Other than Luna, because of all that magic resist. So this is what Yusuke is really good at. He can attack at range up to 4 with Spear Gun. Originally it has a range of 2. It goes +1 if he's transformed, and it goes +1 more when Anger is activated. From this unit range +1. So he gets the kill on Gizra up there. But this Yulia, there's no way to kill this Yulia. Zerida can do it. Yusuke can't really do it either. She can just heal back up after. So it's like this Luna, the last hope for killing this Yulia. But right now it's not looking good. And we can confirm this Luna does not have King's Crown, so she cannot give any 20% damage increase to any of her allies. But right now, none of these units is really capable of killing the Yulia or the Juggler. So Luna takes a lot of damage just from these zealots. The zealot have really high attack, or before the attack anyways. A lot of attack are on the zealots, and the Luna with lower defense takes a lot of damage from that attack. Here Zerida can't even go into hide and seek anymore. And this Luna can't do much. The Wyler already moved. So now this is getting pretty desperate, attacking Juggler with Zerida. Can't really kill this Juggler with any of these units, but you can try. You can look at all of these really low damage. This Yusuke is not transformed. He was debuffed from his own transformation effect, dealing even reduced damage. Gaall being player 1 here, have all his units outside the ring, so really no way to come back from this. Alright, hope that was entertaining.